Hi lovelies, it's Luna Anna here, and this is my video series Healing the Patriarchy with Love, and this is part 4. And in part 4 I'm going to talk to you about becoming the parent for yourself. So being the parent and the adult that you always wanted but perhaps never had, or maybe you did and you were lucky. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in part 3, which was the last video that I did, which is available on my YouTube channel, if you want to watch it, it's available on the YouTube channel, which is Luna Louise Anna. And it was all about allowing the heart to become the guide. And one of the things that you need in order for your heart to become your guide is for it to trust you. And it's only going to trust you if you're parenting it very well. Okay, so the same way a child wouldn't trust somebody that was harsh or wasn't listening to them or wasn't taking care of them, your heart won't open and won't guide you unless you become a good parent, basically, to yourself. And the reason for this is so in the last video and all the previous videos, I've been speaking about how the mind is the masculine and the heart is the feminine, and the sacred union that we often crave externally is actually the internal sacred union of the heart and mind, which means that they work together as a team, basically. But another really handy way of thinking about it that is helpful is to think of your heart as an innocent child and your mind as a healthy adult. So it needs to be healthy. So you need to be taking care of yourself on all levels in order to kind of really get this. And I'm always honest that, I'm in the process of getting it. So I'm not trying to teach it from a place that I'm not at. So I'm only going to kind of share with you where I'm at with it. But there, of course, you can go much further with it and much deeper with it. But I'm not there yet, so I'm not going to share from that place because that wouldn't be authentic. So basically, what does a good, healthy parent do? So, and it might be that your parents didn't do this, or your guardians didn't do this, or it might be even that you as a parent yourself have not done this. Because we all come to childhood and parenting at different stages of growth and evolution, and with different skills and with different circumstances. So there's no judgment here, but I think we need to talk about what a healthy parent does, because we don't want to be parenting ourselves in unhealthy ways, because the heart won't trust that, because the heart always knows what's true and what's authentic. It's very good at that. It's a lie detector. The same way innocent children often are more tuned into their senses of what's off and what isn't. Yeah. So a good healthy parent would look after a child. I mean, I think first and foremost they protect them and keep them safe, don't they? But it's worth noting that a good healthy parent does not protect their child and keep them safe by never letting them feel any pain, because they don't grow from that, and your heart won't grow and open unless you allow it to feel pain. So that's kind of a key here. That's like one of the foundations of it, really, is that you have to be willing to allow yourself to feel pain. Not unnecessarily, so I don't mean just go around, wildly hurting yourself, like really reckless. Of course, take good care of yourself, but don't allow avoiding pain to be a factor, is what I'm saying. Okay. A good healthy parent encourages, nurtures, listens to the needs and dreams and desires of a child, decides what is best for them with no agenda other than to allow them to grow and become the best version of themselves that they can be. And that is what we need to do for our hearts. We need to be listening and tuning into ourselves. Sorry, that's my cat, Goku. He's a teacher, so he's agreeing, I think. Thank you, Goku. Grandmaster of Zen, this cat. Worth listening to. And we want to nurture and allow our heart to grow, because we want it to be as big and wide and open, and then eventually to feel so safe that it's just always open. That would be good, wouldn't it? But it doesn't get there unless it can trust you, and unless it knows that you have its best interests at heart. Sorry, I'm just stroking my grandmaster of Zen cat, Goku. And, if there's difficulties or if the child's upset, a healthy adult will hold space for them, might need to comfort them or cheerlead them or kind of just move them through that a little bit if they need some help with that. But it doesn't try and intervene or shut down that process ever, because it knows that it's a valuable lesson. And it's the same with the heart. So we have to take care of our hearts as if we are the adult taking care of a child, because really that's what we are doing. So it's good to have some techniques around that, but they have to be true to you, because as I've just said, the heart is a lie detector and it doesn't respond well to lies. So just for example, some people might like to think of the kind of like the purity and the innocence that's in their heart as being their inner child. And I know there's an awful lot of teachings around how the inner child is, pure joy and creative and playful, and yes, I'm sure the inner child is all of those things, but the inner child is also all of your wounding from your childhood. So, I mean, me personally, I find my inner child terrifying. This is what I mean, I'm just being honest about where I'm at with it. I'm not pretending to have mastered this. I'm only sharing from where I'm at the moment with it. And I'm sure it's going to evolve. And so there'll be other videos where maybe I've got slightly better, a bit further along with it. But at the moment, I'm absolutely terrified of my inner child, and I'm just starting to work through that, and it's taken some doing. Because I'd been absolutely petrified and couldn't work out why I was petrified, and then I realised it's because the inner child also holds, as well as the light side, as well as the light side of, being playful and creative and fun and innocent and curious and all those lovely qualities, it also holds all the darkness of the wounding of your childhood. So that's why it's not that easy to heal the inner child, I mean, unless you had a particularly great childhood, there's going to be things there that are frightening and upsetting. But if you can heal those, or at least hold them in so much love that they can dissolve into that innocence and that purity of light, then your heart will open some more, because it will feel like it can trust you. It feels like you're listening. It feels like you care. But you've got to be authentic. So I've had to say to mine, I'm still absolutely terrified of you, and I'm still trying so hard to connect with you. So we've got cat fur in my nose now from my long-haired, wonderful Zen cat. So, I've had to be really honest and authentic, and that's what you have to be. You have to be able to talk to yourself really truthfully, the same way you would want a lover to talk to you, or a friend. You wouldn't want anybody to lie to you or pretend. You'd want them to just be honest and say, and you wouldn't want them to have any secrets or be hiding things. And you're creating, as part of this process, an intimacy with yourself. So if you've got fears around intimacy, you'll need to work through those as well. So this technique can be used for any of that, as you can just switch it up. I'll do it for inner child, because I think everybody's quite into inner child healing and things. It's quite a thing, isn't it, amongst spiritual and psychological communities. So basically, because I've been terrified of my inner child, I have literally said to her, I'm working through it, and I'm trying really hard, because I know that it's important, and you are important to me, and I do want to connect with you. But because I'm terrified, I'm finding I can't do it from a place of love, and I can't actually quite get there. There's almost like, I get to a certain point with it, and there's like a block. So what I did, and what I've been doing, is I call in angels, just because I like angels, but you could call in unconditional love, You know, if angels aren't your thing, or just divinity, or you might call in Shakti, which is the creative force of intelligence and love that runs through all beings, or you might call in the universe, or you might have some other thing that means a lot to you and resonates with you. And that's, so I just call in angels, and I'm basically asking them to babysit my inner child whilst I come to love my inner child. And so, and particularly if you're finding yourself frightened or upset about something, this is a really good thing to do, you know, or if you're anticipating a situation might be upsetting to your innocence, you can do this ahead of time before you go to that situation. You know, maybe you've got a difficult conversation to have with somebody, something like that, and you can ask the angels or unconditional love or whatever it is that you choose to hold your inner child and comfort and soothe them for you. So that's what I do. So I've been getting in the babysitters whilst I work through my fears. But it honestly is such a great comforting and soothing technique. And if you use this, you will find that your heart will start to relax and open, because you're doing something to look after the inner child, even if it's not what you really want to do by looking after it yourself. You know, you're actually just making that kind of connection, and that effort and trying is enough for that. So I do that, and I actually also do that for my nervous system. So I've got complex PTSD, and it's actually very severe, which it might not look like it is with me sat on the video chatting, but it actually is. And for a long time, my nervous system was like a crisp, fried, dry, thorny bush in a desert. It was so dry and frazzled. It was just absolutely knackered. And so, as well as obviously trying to water it with actual hydration and also just trying to sort of do the other things that are recommended, you know, lavender oil and things like that, to try and keep myself calm, so that my nervous system could kind of water itself again. I also asked the angels to cover my nervous system in a comforting and soothing balm, and to calm it down and to keep it calm. And I asked them to also do the same thing with my mind, so that my mind didn't trigger my nervous system. So you can see that as an adult, you can start making decisions like this to look after yourself internally. And the more you look after yourself internally, the easier it becomes to look after yourself externally and to make those right choices. And the more the heart opens, and the more the heart is willing to open, and the more it is willing to stay open, because it feels safe and like it can trust you, and like you have your own best interests at heart. And it likes that. So this is why we need to sort of parent ourselves, and there's more to parenting yourself. You know, it's really about, again, being authentic, truthful. If something isn't working in your life, even if it's going to be really painful and inconvenient, you need to change it. If there's something, an addition to your life that would really be good for you on whatever level, you know, just pleasing yourself, or if it would offer, you know, a real growth opportunity. I mean, that's one of the things that you want to be looking for as well, is to, you know, grow and expand. You always want to be looking for what's not what's easiest, not what avoids pain, not what's convenient, not what's a distraction, but instead be looking for the choices that take excellent care of yourself and that help to expand your life, yourself, your consciousness, and that give you opportunities to grow beyond the version of you that you are now, which, you know, might involve growing pains and, like I say, inconvenience. But it's being the adult that knows they can handle that, and so makes those positive choices regardless. And then the heart sort of says, oh, I can trust them. You know, I can trust them, so I can ask them to do this for me, to do that for me, and it will start to open and will start to be a friend. So that's how you kind of start the very basics. Like I say, I'm at quite a basic level, I think, of you know, trying to look after yourself and trying to parent yourself, trying to self-soothe yourself, comfort yourself, and trying to be all the things that are best for you. And it's about, coming out of cycles of distraction and addiction, basically, and repetition that aren't serving you. So, for example, um, maybe you choose to drink a lot, or maybe you're taking drugs, or maybe you're smoking, or maybe you refuse to exercise, maybe you're addicted to sex, maybe you shop all the time, maybe you're one of those people that always has to be busy or is a workaholic. Any of these things that are addictions, or distractions to prevent you from facing what you need to face and do the things that you really need to do for your greatest good. Being the adult, you don't allow those, you intervene. So, I don't know, maybe you comfort eat a lot and it's not very good food. You might decide to start learning how to make healthier food. Or you might even just make one simple change and have, I don't know, a juice in the morning, with some fresh vegetables. And then you might sort of expand on it from there. So it's always making the best choices for you. And it's making the grown-up choices, the mature choices, the discerned choices, and the choices that nurture yourself, and then your heart will start to trust you. Because a child can't trust an adult unless the adult has their shit together, basically. So you need to get your shit together. And in the meantime, if you don't have your shit together, you can ask the angels to babysit those parts of you that you're not quite ready to take full responsibility and care of yet. Okay, so I hope that tip helps you. As always, you can ask questions. Please ask questions. Write comments. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you've had experience with it. I would love to know. I really am very interested in other people's experiences. And because I'm interested in other people's experiences, I'm starting a podcast under the same title, Healing the Patriarchy with Love. And I'm really excited to say that my first guest will be Swami Joytimar, who's got an incredible story and who lives through her heart and allows her heart to be the guide. And she's really good at living that and a living example of that. So I'm looking forward to having her as the first guest on that show. I'll write more details about that on my Facebook page. So if you're not following me on there, and that sounds interesting to you, then you want to go over there. So it's facebook.com/Luna Louise Anna. And if you're watching this on my Facebook page and not on YouTube, my YouTube channel is again Luna Louise Anna. So I'd love to have you subscribe over there. The podcasts will eventually make their way onto YouTube. I just haven't quite figured it out yet because I'm not very technical. I don't have equipment and money really for software and things like that, so I'm just trying to work things out at the moment how I'm going to do it, but they will eventually work their way onto YouTube and you will be notified first if you subscribe. Okay, so I'm looking forward to all of those things. Take great care and I love to hear from you soon, and I'll be back next week. Take lots of care. Bye.